Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Steel Donut. My name is Bob. With me is Connor.
Hello there.
Matt.
Hey, what's up?
And Yella.
Good day.
And today we're going to be reading a story by our boy Shiro Haruno. I don't know if it's a boy, but Shiro Haruno! Yeah. C2S Mind, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
She did the Girl That Can Smell Death.
Girl That Can Smell Death. Yes, I'm
Idle
sorry.
Yes.
I shouldn't have mixed those up. My bad.
The
Good old
smelling
Idle
of
and
death.
Custom.
Well, this is Friends for Life? Or not?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
None of us know for sure.
Tackling the real hard questions here.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
So,
That's also a question.
Yella, why don't you give the description?
It's about the first time Black Rock Shooter came to school full of people she doesn't know. Miku and some of her friends wanted to play nice, but Black Rock Shooter does not talk as much as she goes off to fight anyone that poses a threat to her, so she just stays away for the time being. But soon she might become friends with them.
Oh,
yeah.
You can read and review it if you want. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
I feel
Okay,
like that's
guys.
not for you to judge, Shiro.
No. I've gotten assurances from a little birdie told me, okay?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
So,
not bad.
we're just going to do things a little differently. This story is so incomprehensible that we're just going to take turns reading chapters instead of actually trying to do voices and things.
Yeah.
So, I'll just start.
Yeah.
This is
chapter 1.
Yeah.
Prologue.
Prologue. Good start. Yeah. Black Rock Shooter was a silent yet amazing person, and she wasn't the type to do anything bad. You can say that she is sort of like a supernatural person, but what she really hates is the school she goes to. All of her classmates stay away from her because they thought she was some kind of monster because she stayed close to the back looking out of the window like she was thinking about someone. Miku was a kind person that wanted to be friends with her, but was turned down right before she asked.
I like how they think she's a monster because she stays at the back of the class.
Right. She has supernatural something, and they think she's a monster for standing at the back of the class looking out the window.
That's what monsters do, right? They lurk in the shadows. Mm-hmm. They stay in the back of the class.
I watched and read Monster, the anime and manga, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah, Johan just stands around in the back of the class, and everyone goes, the monster. Miku turned around with tears in her eyes and ran to Rin and Tito. Tito? I think I'm saying that right? Tito?
Damon with Tito.
I'll say Tito. Who had confronted Black Rock... Who had confronted Black Rock Shooter about her issues with Miku. She didn't say anything, but just stared at them like they weren't really helping her with her problem. And so she got up and left out of the room to get some privacy. When she was outside, she found her friend there waiting for her. Miku looked out the window to see what was going on with her. Black Rock Shooter had her gun pointed towards the other girl and ran out of class to watch.
Okay.
This whole school's gonna
I'm gonna shoot you, but I'm also gonna watch me shoot you.
Okay, so
I'm lost already,
I have a few questions. One, Black Rock Shooter apparently has a friend now.
Apparently.
Also,
Friends for life or not?
Also, Black Rock Shooter has her gun pointed towards another girl and runs out of class to watch what?
Watch her shoot the girl.
Watch herself shoot.
Black Rock Shooter ran out of the class to watch her own self shoot a girl.
Who had ran out of class before.
Dang. She has, like, multiple body disorder, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, she is Legion, I get it.
Yeah. She's Legion. Tito and Rin ran after Miku to see what was going on. I wish I were there. They reached the door and stopped frozen. There watched the girl with the scythe trying to slice a Black Rock Shooter. The two looked at Miku, Rin, and Tito, and she pointed to a thing they couldn't see and went through it, then pointed at Black Rock Shooter like, "You got lucky this time, but I will be back someday."
That's a heck of a point. That point talked to them.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's
so they.
Okay, so
I mean, that's the strength of body language right there.
So 3 people are watching Black Rock Shooter and someone else, like, I don't know, attack
a girl
each other.
with the scythe.
Girl with the scythe.
I see.
The 2 of them look at Miku, Rin, and Tito, and she pointed to something.
Whoever
That
that is.
What?
Now do you
And that was the prologue.
Prologue, yeah.
That was the prologue.
We need to go
I
to
feel
the
like
real...
I understand Vocaloid now.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know why it's in the Vocaloid section when it should be in the crossover
Miku is
section.
there.
I said it should
And
be in
Rin.
the crossover section.
But it should,
What do you-
it
this-
should be in the garbage.
Yeah, it should be in the recycle bin.
Would you want to recycle any of this?
I guess it's true.
We could recycle the characters and put them in much better fan fictions.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to Chapter 2, which is Chapter 1, Are You Okay?
Or not?
Either
now,
way,
what-
I don't actually care. I'm just asking to be polite.
Yeah, so we'll just take turns
Yeah,
reading.
so now it's my turn.
Go for it.
The next day, Black Rock Shooter was covered in bruises and cuts and went to her seat. Miku decided to have the courage to walk up to her and ask, "What happened?" All Black Rock Shooter did was stare out the window, ring
Like a
Kaito.
monster.
Yeah. And some others came up to her and asked what her problem was. She looked out the window and saw death. The fucking Grim Reaper.
Holy fuck!
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, this is Final Destination.
And saw Death Scythe waiting for her. Motioning Black Rock Shooter out, she suddenly disappeared.
Oh! Oh no!
Dude, no, Death got her. She's gone.
Yeah,
Body
she's
and
fucked.
soul.
You're
Me?
coming with me. God. Wait, so wasn't Miku watching the fight?
Yeah.
So I guess they just
Maybe.
walked away.
Yeah. They went
Again?
through something.
They saw
could-
the fight
They
happening.
went through something they couldn't see, and then she pointed at someone, and we gave up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, remember? As Black Rock Shooter said nothing, she side glanced at the people.
Side glance.
I've never seen that before.
I'm trying to do that right now.
I'm trying to front glance. I don't know how to do that. Like,
She side glanced at the people and smiled and got up. "My sister was looking for me. I must go to her," she finally said, leaving out the door. She had on headphones and
Fuck
stuffed
you,
her
Door.
hands
You're
in
getting
her
left out of
jacket
this
pocket.
story.
I like how she stuffed both hands in one pocket.
On the way out the door, Miku asked, "Don't you trust us?" She suddenly
She
stopped
doesn't
in the
even
middle
know
of her...
you.
Guys,
She suddenly stopped in the middle of her tracks and said nothing. All she could do was stand there.
she stood in the middle of her tracks.
As she disappeared in front of them, Miku was worried, so she tried to find where Shooter was. Everyone went to the house she lived in and rang the doorbell.
Everyone.
You know where she lives?
Don't you have school?
No, she left.
Oh.
She disappeared.
Oh.
And rang the doorbell. They heard some glasses break and screaming from somewhere.
I wasn't expecting guests today. I was so shocked I dropped the dishes.
No, dude.
Who's at my
She
door?
smashes glass every time someone rings the door.
Yeah. And screamed from somewhere, and someone burst out the window of her house and was badly injured.
What is going on?
Why am I liking this pain, sister? Tell me.
Their S&M sessions got way out of hand.
Yeah, like, first it was whips and chains and then candle wax, and now she's throwing them out of windows. Oh, yeah, baby, just like...
I have a fetish.
Defenestration.
I'm thrown through a window. This is what my masochism has become.
Defenestration, the newest type of kink.
I need this rush. Come on, baby, throw me.
She looked at the...
Make sure the window's closed. I need to break through it.
Yeah.
She looked at the scythe in her hand and it vanished. The same treatment Shooter gave Miku, Tito, and the others was the same treatment she gave her own sister. What? They went through the
What
window
the
next.
fuck?
Okay.
As the door opened, Shooter walked out and went towards her sister, this time without her jacket on, and shook her head in disappointment, but her eyes were the look of hurt and pain mixed with sorrow, and she dragged her back inside and
Can't
turned
believe you
toward
made
them
me throw
and
you out the
bowed,
window. What the fuck?
and bowed in an apologetic manner, then shut the door. Then someone else came out with a little girl and shut the door, screaming, "Shooter! There's people at the door for you!"
Her name is Shooter.
Black Rock Shooter just was outside and saw people
She
outside.
even bowed to them.
Yeah.
I know that already. Go to the room or fix up the house since you two broke most of the stuff in here. I screamed back.
Oh.
Huh?
and they started cleaning up the mess as I went outside.
All of a sudden, we have a point of view switch.
Who is talking?
What?
Then they came outside with the broom and dustpan and got the broken glass. They looked at me and the school and ran inside.
The school? Where are they?
The school took a trip to visit the building itself. It was like, I'm really worried about you too. You just disappeared from my class.
And then it's shocked to see them damage another
does
building.
Does she live in a house that is standing on school ground or something?
No, dude.
Their
she
house is in the
lives
middle
in
of the track.
school. Like, she built a house inside the school.
Yeah.
There's just this big 2-story house just sitting outside sitting in the gymnasium.
No, see, it's actually sitting on the track, because she stopped in the middle of her track. It's her track because she built her house on it.
Yeah.
I live here now, so it is mine.
The track and field team hate her.
A glare of mine gave them the sign of don't even bother eavesdropping.
I ain't dropping no ease, sir.
Eavesdropping.
Eavesdropping sounds like a really bad wrestling move.
And they stuck their heads back in the window. Miku asked again, "Why don't you trust us?"
Miku, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What is happening?
She paused for a moment and answered, "I can't do anything about that. It's not my fault." Is this the author talking to us now?
I don't know.
Miku stepped back, and the twins, Rin and Len, stepped up. Everyone was concerned about Shooter, but the truth was, either way it went, she wasn't going to trust them.
I just want you guys to know, I've seen Black Rock Shooter, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
No one
I have
gets
no
thrown
idea what's
through any
going on.
windows.
I would not expect you to.
I cannot figure this out.
No one walks out to get their person who they threw through a window, sees people outside, goes back inside, and then gets told that people are waiting for them.
Yeah?
Normally, I would BS you guys like, oh yeah, I totally know what's going on, and then tell you what happened, but I can't think of what happened. I have no idea. So I'm not even gonna try.
I can't.
Damn it, Shiro! You broke Bob's gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Matt,
Here we
you want
are.
to take
Chapter
this
3, Chapter 2, Don't Trust Us.
I don't.
one? Or
At least
not?
it's the right
Or
don't
not?
this time.
Trust
Don't-
us or not?
Alright. The next day, Black Rock Shooter was covered in bruises and cuts and went to her seat. Miku decided to have the courage to walk up and
This
ask...
seems familiar.
This is the same chapter twice!
Oh, fuck, it is.
Yeah, that's right! It's the same chapter twice in a row!
What? You're telling me Shiro Haruno realized
Put it
how...
on screen? Like,
Here's what happened. Shiro Haruno realized how confusing it was the first time,
Yeah.
and figured just stating it again in literally the same words would help us.
this is
I
literally
forgot
the
that
same
chapter 2 was just chapter 1. I forgot about that.
Oh my god!
Alright, well, that's chapter 3, chapter 2.
Matt, would
Don't
you like
trust
to
us.
read it anyways?
No!
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to read chapter 4, chapter 3, or do you want
No,
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 you wanted to read
don't want to
chapter
take
three.
Yella's turn.
okay,
this
alrighty.
is my turn. Come on, man.
You can read,
Alright, this is...
I will be reading.
You can read my next favorite chapter, chapter 4, chapter 3.
Chapter 4, chapter 3, I've had enough.
Let's do this.
I haven't had enough.
Shooter looked around her, and no one was around to in her business, and she motioned them in the house as her sisters assembled to eat in the kitchen. Death was cooking and didn't try anything funny because I was watching her every move. Miku asked, "Do they go to school anywhere?" She shook her head, and another girl came out that looked just like her, sat beside her with a smile on her face. At the same time, they crossed their legs and propped their heads on their knees.
What? They propped their heads
How
on their
many
knees?
people showed up in that
Guys,
paragraph?
they crossed their legs. Multiple people crossed their legs. I'm gonna cross my legs with Connor right now.
Yeah.
No.
Here we go. I guess, and then you do that, and then this feels okay. Your toes are on my balls.
Okay, well, you know, that's really all I can do.
Yeah, I can think. That was
Yeah.
sensual.
Oh, we forgot to prop our hands on our knees.
Oh shit.
We gotta do it again.
Do it again.
No.
The two of them looked at each other. One of them said, "It's not that we don't trust you, it's just that I had enough." The one in...
Enough what?
Who said that?
One of them, Matt. One of them. Come on, it's right
Which
there.
one? Who
It's
is
right there.
them?
It says one of them.
Who
Keep
is
up.
them?
The one in white looked at Black Rock Shooter and frowned with a hand on her back, trying to make Black Rock Shooter feel better.
That's her own hand on her own.
I don't know what. Okay,
Was it
I'm
one of
patting
her
myself
own,
on the
was it
back.
one of her own hands, or was it
Are you
someone
feeling
else's?
better now, Bob?
I've got my hand on my back. I'm trying to be a method actor here.
Yeah, you're frowning. You're trying to make me feel better.
Is it working? Do you feel better?
I'm kind of laughing because you look stupid.
There we go.
I feel better.
Problem
I
solved.
really do.
Success, huzzah.
Yeah.
But it was no use. No one was more upset than Black Rock Shooter, so she just stopped.
Beast.
White,
Just stop.
Just stop.
White Rock Shooter was the twin and asked,
Oh!
"Why don't you just stay home for a few days?" Black Rock Shooter looked at her and away from her in silence, saying nothing.
Looked at her and away from her. One eye's looking at you, the other's looking
Yeah, like
forward.
this.
She's a chameleon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
"You can't give me that silent treatment. I'm worried as much as you are," she added, sighing.
I'm sighing too.
I'm worried as much as you are.
Death brought 2 plates toward them and gave them to the twins. As they took them, a smell covered Black's nose. Nothing was wrong with it for now, and she nodded, listening to some really good music, and Miku was wondering what she was listening to that got her nodding.
What? A smell cover Black's nose?
I was gonna mention that you probably shouldn't ever accept food from someone called Death, but that's small peas compared to the rest of the sentence. Which is still going, by the way.
Yeah, guys, come on, you're interrupting me.
Yeah, you're right.
White's headphones were in listening to the same thing and stood up, eating her food. Death smiled, asking, "How is the food?" The 2 of them gave Death a thumbs up and finished.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Came for their souls, he stayed to make dinner.
Yeah. Or breakfast, or something, who knows.
Food! Mm-hmm. Apparently.
Who is Death?
No clue.
That should be the next podcast topic.
Who is Death?
They watched as the twins' shooters flipped over the couch and into the kitchen. Both of them didn't sing, they just mouthed it and washed their dishes and smiled, looking at each other once again.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Miku watched as
Watch Ed.
Watch Ed and Debbie.
What,
Yeah.
Ed? Oh, now Ed's in this story too? God damn,
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a Full Metal Alchemist crossover.
Oh, I thought we were gonna bring Copley in here.
What does bring Copley in here?
We'll just bring all the Eds in.
Yeah.
As they told them to watch their dishes, once they were done, they nodded and the song changed. They looked at each other and looked outside. Something was coming and they waited to see what it was. But it never came out, so Black and White Rock Shooter went outside to check things out and didn't realize they were going to walk into Miko or whatever.
What?
Mako or whatever.
Mako's trap. She turned away from the group and smiled evilly.
What?
Guys, Mako's a coming for them. That's all I got from the story so far.
I didn't even get that. Wow, Bob, you're way ahead of me.
Sorry, man.
I don't know. They were somewhere, and then Death brought him food, and they backflipped out while mouthing the words to
Something.
Where? Over the rainbow.
and then
Far,
washed the dishes.
Far away.
Where far away?
All right, my turn.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Bob.
it's your turn for
Oh,
chapter 5.
This is the longest chapter, just so you guys know. It doesn't
Chapter
get any longer than
4,
this.
Cespicius Mako.
well, I got
Oh.
the shortest chapter, but Matt had the shortest time reading. Black and White Rock Shooter. I like how you grouped that. It's like attorneys general.
Yeah.
Black and White Rock Shooter.
Yeah.
Black and White Rock Shooter didn't talk much, but they knew when something was totally wrong, and there were other things they had to take care of anyway. And the guys came in with guns pointed at the two of
guys?
them, and the youngest, the middle, and the red one. 3 different categories. Age, location, color. The youngest, the middle, and the red one came out the kitchen with their plates still eating.
Their plate is eating them. No.
But stopped to watch this fight between the twin shooters and the guys that pointed the guns at them.
There's guys pointing
came
guns. They
out
come
of
in and they're like, oh
literally
shit, we
nowhere.
should watch this while our plates eat.
The smiles had gave the shooter twins away. They were enjoying the gun being pointed at them,
That's
and
their
so
other
they
fan.
That's some
shaved.
That is some weird kink.
Guys, they shaved their swords and took off their jackets and walked away.
What? Are you gonna... Okay, so all the guys with the guns are just like, oh, okay.
They're like, so are we not gonna shoot or something? I guess.
we-
Are we
leave
not
too?
going to fight?
Is it just like Yoimune all over again? A few minutes later, the twin shooters came back, and the guys came in tow with the broken ribs and bruises
Oh my
everywhere,
God.
crying.
There's broken ribs everywhere.
You left the gunfight, went and got beat up, then came back to the gunfight? That's what I'm reading here.
Yeah. Miku was surprised, so were we, when everyone came with her to bring Blackrock Shooter her homework to do.
What?
Rin couldn't believe Mako came to see where Black lived, and the Red walked over and grabbed her
The
sword from
Red.
Blackrock Shooter and go to her room, and Death, along with the
What?
youngest, went to
Stop.
their room, leaving the twin shooters to do what they wanted.
Okay,
What?
so
Did you have a problem with that sentence? Because I didn't.
the Red, her sword, from Blackrock Shooter,
Yeah?
go to her room,
Uh-huh.
and Death, just lowercase Death,
Yeah?
the concept of Death,
Uh-huh.
along with the youngest, who we still have no idea who it is,
Well, we know the youngest isn't the red one or
or the middle one.
or the middle one.
Yeah, the middle one.
Okay.
Remember, this is Mako being suspicious.
Suspicious.
Suspicious sounds like a really bad, like,
Yeah, would you like
spice.
your spaghetti mild, medium, suspicious? I'll take it
Or
suspicious.
really spicy.
Yeah. The twins looked at each other and yawned and closed their eyes. The flames disappeared from the left side. They were going to keep them
left
company
side.
since they all came from the school to pay Black a visit. It kind of felt weird they opened their eyes and side glanced at Mako and Kato together. Miku depressed and her friends trying to cheer her up.
What?
The left
Also,
I
those
love our story
I'll try
of
to-
people
I
being
love how
friends
those
or not has
twins
come
do
so far.
everything in exact synchronisms. Like,
Guys, I'm just gonna try to cheer Miku up by putting my hand on my back and
Frowning.
frowning. Do you think it'll work?
Maybe she likes funny faces, you know?
Lily? Who the fuck is Lily? Lily
maybe
watched
she's the youngest.
Maybe she's
Maybe
the
she's
middle
the
one.
middle.
Maybe she's
the
the
red
red
one.
one. We'll never know.
We'll never know. Lily watched the twins' movements as they said, "Come to our room, but 2 at a time." The door to their room was already open,
The
because
orgy
White
was
never
already
closes
on
it,
the
and
way.
Black got Miku and Rin as White got Len and Big Al.
Who's
And
Big Al?
Hey guys, it's me, Big Al.
It's me, Big Al. I'm here now.
Hey, it's me, Big Squatch Al.
I like to imagine this is just a Fat Albert crossover now.
Yeah. And into their room they went. Everyone else, including Mako, they looked around and the door closed.
What?
The twins had their hands out for some reason.
Yeah,
but
usually
White,
they have their
Keep those
hands
by your
in.
sides. Come on.
but White put her hand down and stepped back. Miku was wondering what Black was still holding her hand out for.
They were
and
doing the hokey pokey, and she's like, "What the fuck? You're supposed to spin your hand around now. Why is it still out?"
Yeah, guys, that's what it's all about. And realized she wanted her homework and gave it to her. Mako was smiling the whole time, and Lack Rock Shooter, pinned her homework to the floor and walked over to Miku saying nothing. White went over to Mako and dragged her out, and she wasn't scared, and they were wondering why.
Lack rock.
Call me the Lack Rock Shooter, because
Yeah.
I'm the bad one.
Yeah, I'm the middle one.
I'm the not as good one.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
the
Lack.
red one.
It's like Black Rock Shooter, more like Lack Rock Shooter.
So does anyone want to try and dissect what just happened in that paragraph?
No.
I love how no one's mentioning the guys with guns ever again. They're just gone.
The look was one of excitement, and, well, just excitement, and the youngest came out of a room and looked at Mako with scary eyes and told her, go away. But they knew she wasn't going to leave, so Miku was looking between Mako and the youngest sibling in the Shooter family.
Which is?
Mako had her phone texting someone, and he came with a army of his friends. It really wasn't a big deal to each other, and there were smiling and whispering to each other. Then the men saw Green and Red.
Who are they?
Who the fuck is Green? Walked out of their rooms, and
Green's the middle one.
And the Shooter family started whispering to each other.
I love they're the Shooter family.
As
like
well.
Their name is Black Rock Shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started whispering to each other as well. Then the Red one asked, hey boys, can we take this outside or in the twins' room?
What?
They smiled and answered, well, take this to Shooter's room, it's fine with us. Miku was worried about what was going to happen to the Shooter family since they only had each other anyway. Black looked at Miku and smiled, saying, this happens to us all, we will be fine, I promise, Miku, but I might not be able to come back till my injuries are all healed up. And the men ran into the twins' room and fell flat on their faces.
What?
What?
I'm falling flat on my face, too.
You guys are,
fuck?
I can see there's sweat droops and you guys are falling upside down like a baka in an anime right now.
Baka strawberry.
Baka strawberries, all of you.
I'm so confused.
I think.
You think what? Do you have any idea what's going on?
I don't have an end to that sentence, so I'm going to leave it there.
You think, therefore you are.
I think, yeah.
The Shooters knew what that meant and sighed, shaking their heads with shame and told their older sister she was mean.
Mean.
She shrugged and didn't care, going back to her room, shutting the door behind her once she had entered it, as opposed to before. Miku watched Mako carefully as she clenched her hands in anger. I'm clenching your hands in anger, Connor.
Ow, Mako, stop that.
The twins looked at her with straight faces, even though inside they were laughing like hell. Dark fell, and they stayed at the Shooter house for the night.
Man,
no one had
why
sleeping.
Did dark have to fell?
No one had sleeping wear or clothes for in the morning.
No one had clothes!
For in the morning, so they took turns in the bathroom and using the washer, which was stashed in Death's room.
Why did they have the washing machine in Death's room?
Why do they have the washing machine in Matt's room?
Maybe
I
Death
live
just
in the
and,
washing machine.
Oh.
They had to station him in the washing room.
Yeah, maybe.
It became Death's room after that.
So they were saved. The youngest sister gave the girls some of her nightgowns to wear to sleep, but the boys had to sleep in their boxers.
Oh, how scandalous.
Wait. That was the best thing they had done in forever. The dryer was full of their clothes, so they had to figure out which outfit was theirs.
How do
They
you
didn't
not
mess
know
with
your
it
own
that
clothes?
night because they were too tired to do anything else. So that next morning, the Shooters put their cloths in the dryer, and the others had woken up at the same time.
What just happened?
I can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
You'll have to prepare yourself because the next chapter
Next chapter is my chapter.
Yep, next chapter is Matt's chapter. You'll have
This
to
is my
prepare
favorite
yourself
chapter
in
of the whole
time for
story,
that.
guys, okay? I love this
Which
chapter.
is chapter 6.
This is chapter 6, because God knows what happened in chapter 5.
Oh! God, this is chapter 6. No need be late fears. Kshul!
For sure.
Seriously, what happened to chapter 5?
Not good. This is chapter 6, my chapter. Waking up that day, it was late, and it was a school day. Miku jumped up with nothing but her bra and underwear, shouting, "No, you be late for school, for shul. Come on, clothes dry faster." And within the same time she had shouted that, they were dry, and the Shooters took them out and laid them flat. So that day...
Oh! Oh! Is that what happened? I see!
I told you this is my favorite chapter.
Matt, you were right. This is the best chapter. I like how, even though we picked who is gonna speak arbitrarily, and you still got to read the least amount of this whole fucking story.
Oh my god.
Jesus, why? What happened?
What?
How did such a long chapter get followed by that?
New be late for school.
Late feared tool. It's like a fucking fantasy language. You don't
Yeah.
actual words.
J.R.R. Tolkien would be like, wow,
like-
that's amazing.
I
New
like
Nibi
I
late
like how the
fear
chapter
tool.
title has the exact same like horrible writing as in that specific part of the chapter.
I like how it ends mid-sentence.
What? Laid them out flat so that they...
I just like how she shouts, "No, I'm going to be late for school," and within the time
didn't
she
shout
shouted
that.
that, her clothes were already dry.
She didn't shout that. She shouted, "No, Nibi late
late
for
for
school."
That's my war cry. Okay.
Oh
Alright. So now, back to your regularly scheduled
Yeah,
program,
yeah.
I guess. Chapter 7, no chapter title.
Yeah.
It's just 7, chapter 7.
Yeah. Mako looked back at the twins as they slept through the entire lecture.
I guess we're back to school then.
Yeah. Once class was over, she got up and walked up to the twins and slammed her hand on the desk. They jumped and looked around, then went back to sleep, saying nothing, just lightly snoring with their earbuds in. Then they saw the oldest calling them from the outside. They were asleep. They stood up,
Earbuds in.
They stood up, opened their eyes, and looked at each other. They looked at the twins.
What?
The twins?
Yeah?
They looked at the twins as they slept, walking out of the room and out of the school.
You ever
Okay.
had like an out-of-body experience?
Oh, wait,
I think
no, I
that's
have a
what's
couple-
going on.
The twins do have multiple body disorders,
Like,
so a pair
I
of them
don't-
were looking at another
That was
pair.
the first thing I was going to say. The
also
second thing I
like-
was going to say was,
I also like
the
how-
other option is maybe the twins are their tits. They were looking down at the twins, you know?
Yeah.
No, I for some reason I doubt that.
Miku was worried about them, so she asked everyone if they wanted to go see the crazy shooter family.
Man, why would I ever watch TV? This is like better than any soap opera.
They should be a reality show.
Oh man, this is great. Keeping up with the Black Rock shooter
Life
family.
with the shooters.
Yeah. Shooting the shit with the shooters.
They were all up for it and said nothing.
Hey Connor, after this you want to go get lunch? Is that a yes?
Dude, Bob, don't you see how enthusiastic he is
He's
about
all
I
up
guess
for
his
it.
face tells me he's enthusiastic, but he's saying nothing.
He's all up for it, man.
Yeah. The teachers went also. The teachers went also because Black's grads were impressive.
Professor with grad students.
Yeah. Even
Or even if he meant grades, what the fuck?
Black's grads were impressive, even though she never got any sleep in that house. So everyone in the school took a field trip, repeating. I guess they're singing this. We're going to the shooter's house. We're going to the shooter's house. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
So everyone's going to her house now. Dude, the
Yeah.
entire school is.
Yeah.
The entire
Again!
fucking school goes to a field trip.
Oh, you got to do this next part in a southern accent.
But like this next line.
Just but once.
But once they got to the shooter house, they swallowed spit and get off the bus.
Yeah, they get off the bus.
Get off the bus.
Yeah. They swallowed their spit and get.
They didn't
Swallowed the spit sounds like a southern expression.
Where do you get off the bus?
They didn't think that the shooter house was going to be so awesome.
I don't think so either.
Then they realized Black and White were standing there asking, "What is your business here?"
So they didn't even tell them they were all going to their house.
Well, of course not.
Yeah,
Then
surprise
they would have
visits have to
probably
be a surprise.
objected.
Miku walked up to the shooter twins answering, "We just wanted to check on you, that's all."
The whole school wanted to check on you.
Sighing, they moved aside, due that she could come in, as the others did also, and dinner was cooked by the oldest sister, and the youngest sister was cleaning the living room for them. It seemed like they'd been fighting and were cleaning the mess they made.
Guys, can I just lay down on the floor and die?
You haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's
stop
been a
it.
while. I'm gonna need to.
Dude, what you need to do is you need to let go of your ability to live.
Okay,
Your power to live.
in so I can hear.
You want me to stomp on your face?
Don't stomp on my face. I'm okay.
Okay.
Well, at least we know
Well, I won't be
where
okay,
we
but I'll
need.
be okay.
At least we know where we can get someone who can smell Bob now.
Yeah.
Alright, go on without me, guys.
No one could tell they were all tired from the fighting and the cleaning. All of them were just as tired as the Shooter twins were of Mako's glares and evil smiles, so Death decided to do something about it.
By the way, didn't they walk into Mako's trap? What happened to that?
Her trap was that they
guys
wouldn't be
with
able to go to
guns
school
who
because their clothes
then got
weren't
hurt
dry.
for no
Yeah,
reason?
guys with guns that then went out and got
Oh, I
themselves
figured it was
hurt.
just lost in chapter 5.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
All right.
So Death decided to do something about it, but then stopped in her tracks going back to clean the kitchen. The Shooter twins glared at Miku asking, "What do you want from us?" Miku looked at Black answering, "We were just worried about you, but I guess my hunch was right. You're pushing yourself to hard, Black Rock Shooter."
Where did you come to that conclusion?
Sighing, Black Rock Shooter let them in, though you'd probably think that it was totally rude to leave them standing when it was about to rain. Death said,
You know what else I think is rude? Taking an entire school's worth of people and the teachers over to your house for dinner. Uninvited.
over to
Over
someone
to
else's
someone
house
else's
for dinner.
house.
I think that's kind of rude.
Yeah. Death said, "Should have left Mako outside. The glares and that stupid smile on her face are really irritating me."
Wipe that grin off your face.
Rolling their eyes, the Sutter twins...
The suitor.
The Sutter twins ignored it, and Mako focusing more on Miku, Luca, Rin, Len, Kaito, and several others, and Mako seemed to be pissed at the conversation they had, and not including her in them still.
Maybe the Shooter twins are the other twins that were referred to earlier.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, the Shooter twins were looking at the Suitor twins.
Are you ever gonna get off the floor?
No, I think
Okay.
I'm just gonna wait here.
Yeah. Alright. She was totally alone, though she was just glaring at them as they looked at Mako, saying,
She had to adjust her
"Who
glare.
the fuck is talking? Whatever. We can go all day, but we aren't going anywhere, Mako." She clenched her...
I can't.
She clenched her teeth.
Okay, I'm back up in my
She
seat.
clenched her teeth, not even knowing what in the world was going on between Mako and Black Rock Shooter, but the outcome was not going to be pretty.
I don't know what's going on between Mako and Black Rock Shooter either.
Yeah.
Maybe we can find out in chapter 8.
I can't even tell you what's going on in between Shiro Haruno's ears.
Mako's
Not thinking, that's not happening.
Yeah. Thoughts are just like happening and then falling out.
Yeah.
Her
Well,
brain
maybe-
is literally spilling out of her ears.
Maybe everything will be answered in this final chapter of Friends for Life, or not?
I can't even
Or
tell.
not.
Or it won't.
Mako's defeat.
Or
Let's
not.
get this over with.
Yeah. Or
Or
not.
maybe. I don't know. The starring battle was epic between the Shooter twins and Mako. The
What?
youngest sister smiled, looking at Mako, repeating song like "Go home, go home, go home."
It was like that, but not that. It was like a different song.
Yeah. Travel homeward, travel homeward,
Yeah.
travel
Go
homeward.
back to your house. Go back to your house.
Go
Get the
west.
fuck
Life is
out.
peaceful there. Go west. Lots of open air.
This is just a tribute. You've got to believe me.
Mako was creeped out by this, but said nothing. White block. Blah. God damn it! I can't even speak. Mako
Don't worry,
was
she can't even write, so.
Fair enough. But said nothing. White Rock Shooter hit the youngest lightly in the center of her head and took her to her room without a word, and her voice rang out through the house, creepy-like towards Mako.
Weren't they gonna fight?
Rang out creepy?
What happened?
Yeah, like towards Mako.
every time they're about to fight, they all just leave. It's just like Yoshimune.
She got up
feeling insulted leaving.
I'll get you next time. Now everyone, go home.
It's okay, guys. Ghibli
Pismatus.
Billy Rock Shooter.
Ghibli Rock Shooter.
Ghibli has been the oldest
all
one
of the
whole
Maikos.
She got up, feeling insulted, leaving and never looking back. When she was out of the house, the voice stopped as she really hated their family, and she came back in all depressed without a word as the shooters were sitting on the couch with the youngest and just staring at him.
Obviously, Maiko doesn't like them, and no one likes Maiko. Why do they keep letting her in their house?
Wait. So, the Shooter twins and Maiko are about to fight, so the Shooter twins leave and yell out a creepy sound, which makes Maiko leave, but then come back.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like I said,
And then the shooters are sitting on the couch with the youngest and just staring at them.
No one likes Maiko, and Maiko doesn't like anyone. Why do they keep letting her in their house?
You know, for...
Smiling evilly, she watched Maiko come back to sit down all depressed. The youngest wasn't even doing anything, so Maiko stayed silent until they decided to leave the shooter house.
Okay.
Okay, I was a sentence early, but now...
Whatever, yeah.
It's her house now.
Everybody
They're out
just
on the street.
leaves. The house just empties.
Yeah. Alright, see you guys later.
Yeah, peace out. House shakes all the people out of it and then leaves.
He's like, get
Alright,
out of
guys.
here.
Guys, final paragraph. This is our last chance to hear anything that made any sense.
Let's make it a good one. After Miku said all she wanted to say, the Shooter twins saw them to their homes and made sure their families were letting them in, though they looked like they lived all by themselves.
Is that how they look?
Evidently not, because their family showed up.
They looked like they lived by themselves.
But they had families.
Yeah. Apparently.
They lived
It
by
wasn't-
themselves with their families.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't a surprise. The Shooter twins actually saw Mako home as well, and she had her boyfriend waiting for her.
Who? What?
Her
Yeah,
boyfriend.
How that works?
Okay.
They told Mako to leave, so she stayed there, and then only left whenever
And then they
did.
saw her home.
Yeah.
Mako wanted to know that what she was doing there until she realized the Shooter twins had disappeared to their house without saying goodbye.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. It's too late to say goodbye.
It's too late to apologize.
These days, the Shooter twins don't even say those words because strangers don't really matter to them or the other three. They were in the
Those
middle
words.
with green shards of death with her sharp scythe.
Oh.
Not even they know what runs in the Shooter twins' heads.
So, was that friends for life or not? Which
I don't
one?
think anyone
I'm not
knows
sure.
what runs in their heads, or Shiro Haruno's head.
What?
Was that a
Let's-
satisfying conclusion? Was that a conclusion? Was that a story?
And all the questions were answered.
No
At least-
questions were answered.
At least when the girl that could smell death ended with a girl having her wolf bite the guy in the crouch, at least there was an event we could pick out and say, that happened in the story. This one,
There's
you know what, I'm gonna edit this one. I'm gonna put a counter up at the top of the screen, and it's gonna have number of sensible moments. Things we could understand. And the counter will be up there, and it'll be a big fat goose egg right at the end.
There's not many
Look at
reviews,
it,
but I want
look at it, viewers. That's the sensible counter. That's the counter that shows how many times. Look at it. That's how many times something made sense in this.
I just want to read you two
I have
reviews.
a feeling Bob is getting sort of...
I'm a little mad.
Guys, I just want to read you two reviews real quick. First one is by Zaire13. Not trying to be rude, but you really need to write longer chapters and stop cutting them off halfway.
That's not the problem.
And the other review I want to read you is great story, though I wish you could update and just write. Though I wish you could update and write more. There isn't much stories with BRS and Miku. At first I thought it was a Yuri story, but it isn't. Even so, it's still a good story.
Are there even relationships in this story?
Maybe
at
a
all?
long time ago, this story made sense. And
A long
like,
time ago in
in
2013.
a drunken stupor, Shiro Haruno went back and completely demolished it.
Well, obviously she changed it because apparently the original first chapter had 6 words because that's what everyone was complaining about. Apparently these 6 words were enough to hook everybody.
Yeah.
But now a repeated chapter is A-okay.
A repeated chapter in whatever the hell that one thing was. I need to back up and see that
Chapter
again.
6?
Yeah, chapter 6. No need be late, fear chul.
Words can't express how I feel right now.
I still wonder what
This is
happened
the
to
ultimate
Long
Shiro
Lost Chapter
Haruno.
5.
I don't think you could be more Shiro Haruno-esque than this.
I think the crazy thing is, like, no matter what happened in Chapter 5, it wouldn't make it make any sense. At all!
Damn.
Like, if you took a chapter out of basically any story we've done, or any good story, you'd miss out on something. But I have no idea what we could have missed that would make anything in this story make any sense. I've read stories that get the formatting fucked up on fanfiction.net and just read P style equals, bold, and those stories make more sense than this.
If you just
Ladder,
if you're
games
capable of-
made more sense. It was a coded message, maybe. Damn.
No.
We've really moved up in the Shiro Haruno ranks. You know, the girl that could smell death was... I'm sorry, the girl that could smell death was kind of bad. Like, but, like, it was short. Whatever.
Idle Costum was
Idle
kind
and
of...
Costum was amazing. Like, you could barely hang on as it went along.
But you
still
could
had a
hang
lot of
on.
great
You
shit.
could figure
But
out
you
what was
could
going
hang
on.
Like this
but then
wasn't
Friends
even
for
a
Life.
slope.
You're just done. You're done.
This wasn't even a slope anymore. This was just a perfectly vertical line.
It's
Yeah.
a 90-degree angle.
Friends for Life or Not is the most sensical thing in the story. The title. And the title makes no sense.
Well, hey guys, at least it's not bad.
Okay, you're right. The description did reassure me it's not bad. And you're right.
It's not bad.
It's not even bad. It doesn't even fall on the scale between good and bad. Because this is just a random assemblage of words.
Yeah, to be rated good or bad, you need to understand what's going on first.
Right.
You need
I
to
also
able to
want to
judge
point
it.
out real quick. I want to point out real quick that this is rated M for mature.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
I don't know
I feel like
why.
this should be rated N, for no one should read this. But now we have...
And our lives are all the richer.